but the latest reports do indicate that Drew Brees is getting closer to a return from the rib injury. So, Michael Vick, you're still with us this morning. I want to ask you, Mike, what has Taysom Hill proven to you?
Well, he's proven that he can manage the game, through and through for all 4 quarters, no matter who he plays against, no matter what the game plan looked like. Yesterday's game plan definitely wasn't the game plan they had against Denver. I think they went into Denver saying, that, look, we're just going to run the football. They knew what type of situation that Denver was in offensively. Yesterday, they was playing against a complete team in the Atlanta Falcons, who had some mojo, who was getting their bravado back and was playing some good football. So I knew this was going to be a test. And he actually looked better yesterday than he did the first time around against the Atlanta Falcons at home. And he did everything right. I think most importantly, being able to distribute the ball, he was able to convert on multiple third downs, keep the team on the field, and keep Matt Ryan off the field. And I thought that was extremely important. Found Michael Thomas 9 to 10 times and just played through the offense. He didn't panic in situations. He didn't just pull the ball down and run. He did everything right at the right times in the game. And you got to respect that. And I know Sean Payton is sitting back smiling because he made a statement saying that this guy was the next Steve Young. And, he looked like the next Steve Young, even better, at where he is right now. So without the experience, he's gaining more experience each and every game, and he's looking better. The ultimate dual threat, like I said a couple weeks ago, he continues to get better. He's shown that he's competent enough to play the game from the quarterback position, from the neck up, and he looked good doing it. So I don't think it's anything that anyone can say in regards to Taysom Hill that didn't validate that he's a true quarterback in the National Football League.
Well, I'm watching, I guess I watched different games because I'm looking at it, and in those 3 starts, his defense is giving up 9 points, 3 points, 16 points. So less than 10 points a game. If they were to stay on that average, that would be less points than the Baltimore Ravens gave up in 2000, which would be an NFL record. Now, if you're going to tell me they're going to run the ball for 207 yards and they're going to play the 30th ranked pass defense 7 of the next 8 games, well, they go you Super Bowl champs.
Okay.
But I don't believe that's going to happen. I want to see Taysom Hill in a situation where the opposing offense can put pressure on their offense, where you have to meet them scoring. Well, hell, if I only got to score 3 points, I should be able to get that as a competent NFL quarterback.
What did Teddy Bridgewater do last year?
Yeah.
He went 5-0. Okay.
5-0.
Atlanta don't have a good offense.
They scored 16 points.
Matt Ryan, Todd Gurley, Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley out there yesterday.
I saw what that defense did against Green Bay
over there in Atlanta.
So when they played Green Bay, how that look? I mean, like I said,
you said when they play Green Bay?
Yeah, you saw them play Green Bay, right? New Orleans. You saw them play Green Bay, right?
Was Taysom Hill playing quarterback?
No, Drew Brees was, and you believe Taysom Hill could have got 40? So in other words, you're telling me Taysom Hill is a better option at quarterback than Drew Brees. Is that what you're saying? I don't want to hear. Make sure you're saying that right.
More at the quarterback position than Drew Brees. He can pull it down and run it. You can design plays for Taysom. You can, just like we talked about with Jalen Hurts. I'm not going back to that. You can open it up a little more, Shay. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, Shay. You can open it up a little more, baby.
Skip, you've covered every Super Bowl. How many winning quarterbacks have ever won the Super Bowl in your 40 years? The guys that can pull it down and run.
Steve Young did, but by that point, he wasn't pulling it down.
He wasn't pulling it down and running. Huh?
Patrick Mahomes won it last year. He can run the football.
That's all, Mike.
Because Patrick was pulling it down in the playoffs.
We're talking about like Taysom Hill. Patrick Mahomes has never had more than 10 carries in a game. Patrick Mahomes, his most carries might have been 5. As a matter of fact, he had 5 the first 2 games, which he had 50 yards rushing. But that's neither here nor there. What I want to see is I want to see them in a situation where that defense is not getting 8, 9 sacks in a game, and they're not holding the other team down, and the team gets to the 25, get to the 30-point mark. And then I can evaluate, because you know this, Mike, at some point in time, you're going to have to get into a shootout. And can Taysom Hill win a shootout? If he can win a shootout, then they'll say, okay, we're going to be on to something. But when the defense got 8 sacks in the first game and gave up 9 points, and they held the Broncos had more interceptions than pass completions. And then yesterday, let's not get carried away. I know the Falcons are playing better, but that's still the 30th ranked pass defense. So I will give him this. He's doing what he's supposed to do. Hold the ship steady. Don't crash it. Don't hit an iceberg. Don't run to the shore. Do what Teddy Bridgewater did. Keep it 5-0.
Okay, I got you. Degree of difficulty, very low for Taysom Hill.
Yes.
Very low. Got you. What did your eye test tell you? As a Hall of Famer, when you watched him play yesterday, is that a starting quarterback for some team in the National Football League?
Starter, but win a Super Bowl? No.
Okay. But he is a credible starting quarterback.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
I will also go that far. Again, his passing motion leaves a little bit, it's high and tight, mechanical, but it's been working.
Right.
He has completed this year 72% of his passes.
Right.
Some of those were in his gadget role when people were wide open.
Yes.
But he impressed me yesterday because, you know, 27 of 37 for 232, it looked legit to me. And listen, this is a big kid. He's really not a kid anymore, but he can, at 6'2", 220, he can fly.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's legit 4.4 40 speed. I think it's Steve Young kind of speed. I think Steve was right in that ballpark, right? Okay. And at the goal line, he's a much more powerful runner than Steve ever thought about because Steve didn't do that.
No.
At the goal line, you can just call his number. It is more Cam-like to me. He's not as big as Cam, but he will run he will pack a wallop like Cam can pack.
Well, you saw him turn the corner and pick up 40 yards in a hurry.
Well, that's why. But that was he ran right by the DB, and I said, "That's speed, man." Right?
He hit the edge. It was out.
Okay, and he carries himself great. He looks like he's got supreme confidence in himself, and yet he's got one of the best, if not the best, play callers in the league. He's got one of the best strategists in the league. I give you all that. But again, they're going to have to make a choice maybe next year. Is it Taysom? Is it Jameis going forward?
Right.
Well, I think this head coach is leaning Taysom.
Well, here's the thing, though, Skip. You might have to make a decision this year.
You might.
Is it Taysom or is it Drew?
Well, Drew's supposed to give it a shot to come back.
Because remember,
this coming week,
Sean Payton's mentor, Bill Parcells, had to make a decision. Jeff Hostetler or Phil Simms.
Yep.
And he stuck with the hot hand.
You're talking about hot hand.
Yes. He stuck with the hot hand.
He will not go away from Drew Brees.
You don't think so?
No, he'll go back.
He won't go away from Drew.
No.
Like, I wouldn't do that. I didn't. You know, that thought crossed my mind yesterday when I was watching the game and they were showing Drew, and then I came back down to earth like, hold on, this is one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play the game. I don't care how good Taysom Hill is playing. I'm going back with Drew because I know Drew cerebrally can get me through a game. You know, he don't have to do all the extra stuff, but other quarterbacks do. You know, Drew is maybe one of 15 quarterbacks to ever play this game that can go out there and just beat you from the neck up, and he can take 7 sacks and still beat you. So it don't matter. But when you're talking about Taysom Hill, you're just talking about a guy who's just the ultimate X factor. And, you know, in the hands of Sean Payton, this man is going to be dangerous for a long time. And, you know, they don't have to use him this year. It don't even have to be next year. But Sean Payton knows what he has. There's a reason he got that money.
So, Mike, next year, going forward, if there's no Drew, is it Jameis or is it Taysom?
It's Taysom. And from a quarterback standpoint, I'm always be honest. And I love good quarterback play. I evaluate every quarterback that plays in the National Football League. If you start for a team, I'm evaluating you from afar based on my personal experience and what I've seen, you know, growing up and throughout my experiences. And, you know, when I look at a guy like Taysom, I start to think if I was a coach, what I would do with him. When I look at a guy like Jameis, it'll be a totally different game plan. Wow. It's just that Taysom just gives you something different, and that's where the game is trending these days. And you know, you gotta hang your head on that. And if you want to win games, you're gonna use everything that Taysom can provide to the best of your team's ability. Add some defense to it, and you got a playoff team.
I mean, I like Jameis. I just think Jameis is situated for this situation more so than Bruce Arians, because you're not going to ask him, Skip, to take the risk. And we see Tom, when you ask him to take the risk, that's a high turnover offense is what it is. Now, you're going to get a lot of big plays, Skip. You're going to get a lot of 70, 80-yard touchdowns, but you're going to get a lot of 2 interception games also.
I agree.
All right, Mike, we appreciate you joining us this morning. Coming up next, guys, the Jets collapse against the Raiders. Well, it just cost somebody his job. We have breaking news. Don't go anywhere.
Uh-oh.